Don't like.
God damn it. You always have to do that. All right, let us see. And YouTube says that they are receiving our content for once this week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Titan's Table. I hope that you are all doing well. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Magic the Gathering. We're going to be talking mainly about is the shutdown due to the coronavirus the death of gaming retail stores. But before we get into all of our topics, why don't we introduce who is here with us tonight? First, we have Mr. Cinder Shadow.
Hello, everyone. It's been a little bit. I'm sitting at home doing nothing, so I'm here now.
I mean, hey, sitting at home doing nothing isn't the worst thing in the world.
Well, I am trying to do some live streams and videos, the usual.
For sure. We have Grim Monolith.
I am here.
He is a face in the shadow.
Back as usual with a non-functioning camera for the most part.
I mean, it's close enough. It's better than nothing.
Right.
And we have.
I'm not coughing. I'm not coughing because of the virus.
We're all getting Grim's getting the computer through the
F in
virus.
chat.
Oh god, I just got you all sick. I apologize.
6 feet, guys. 6 feet. Is this 6 feet? And we also have Asfera. How are you doing tonight, Rob?
I'm surviving.
Hey.
Having a great life, enjoying these nuts in cashews in my mouth.
Oh my.
Wow. Very NSFW, my friend. All right.
I said cashews. I didn't say the other word.
Well, you said the N-word. You said it. You said it.
There's only one N-word.
You said nuts.
I didn't say the N, that N.
Wow. There's more than one word that starts with N. But welcome everyone. I'm glad that YouTube is slightly functioning tonight. That is good.
Yay.
So, all right, what do we want to start with, you guys? What do we want to chat about for a few minutes? I mean,
Well, hey, before we came on, we were talking about the situation that Asfera is in and the email that he just got.
oh
I think
yes.
that is a very interesting topic, and I would love to hear more about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Where should I start? Let's say. Well, I guess I was kind of lucky with losing my lease on my business last month and being forced to, say, close down, liquidate 90% of my stuff, and pack stuff away to take home, just in time to find out that that entire mill got shut down a week later by the town. So, I think they got their just desserts. And
Whew.
I had to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That being said, I gave Wizards of the Coast a 7-day warning that I'd be closing at the end of the month.
Right.
The last day of business would be the last day of the month, and then I'd be at that location. They gave me a month to find a new location and get them the information. On the 21st, they sent me out the 21st of February, they sent me out all the stuff I would need to know.
Right.
On the 23rd of March, they said they'd give me an extension until the 27th of March to get them the stuff, or they would be liquidating basically nuking my WPN database.
Right.
So they basically, not even 1 month, not even 30 days from the date I gave them. It was from the time I called them on the phone. So in the future, people, don't call Wizards of the Coast, make them call you.
Yeah, definitely.
But that being said, as I gave them a specific date, now they gave me until the 27th, which is tomorrow, to have all this information into them. And hold on, let me pull up this email because it was tasty when I replied to it.
Oh yeah, you had told me about it, and I was a little I mean, I wasn't surprised by your response. I was just surprised with what Wizards of the Coast had to say, and
kind of put earth on them. Where is my reply?
I think your reply is they deserve what you said.
Yeah.
So, reply to Wizards of the Coast is too bad the country is under total lockdown and we are unable to look for a new location. Might as well just close us out since your deadline is unrealistic.
Yeah. I mean, it's true though. Their deadline is completely unrealistic.
They're like, oh,
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to do, in all honesty? You're looking probably at least 3 months out before you can even look at a place.
Well, I think the situation with what Watsy said, I see it as more of just an automated response. Now, Rob might feel differently, but I just feel like it was just an automated response, and if you had actually called them and talked to them, maybe they would have given you like a different answer and was like, yeah, like, we understand. But at the same time, maybe it wasn't an automated response, and maybe they would honestly feel that way still.
Yeah, if it said dear customer, I believe it was automated. Somebody had to take in that form and put my name into it.
Right.
Because the letter they sent out to me was a direct form.
Vara, can you check your volume?
I mean, it's the normal volume. I did turn it up a
Okay.
little bit, but I can't turn it up anymore with the stream going, so should be okay.
So if anybody sees anything in chat, it's a little harder for me to check chat this time around. Actually, I should just pull it up on my phone.
Fair enough, yeah.
Now is Asfera, there's no one even at Wizards of the Coast to talk to right now anyway, right? So if you called and tried to talk to them about it, there'd be no one to talk to. So
I don't know. I mean, a lot of companies are doing like routing in home.
Yeah,
support.
they still have people.
Just doing that currently, they'll probably they're gonna have to pay their employees one way, shape, or another. Or they're in the middle of freaking Seattleville. They're the biggest socialist POSs I've ever seen on this planet. More likely than not, they just laid everybody off and said, "Go collect free money from the government. We'll see you in 90 days."
Maybe.
So it's fair. When's the Friday Night Magic for your store?
Yeah.
Wow.
For all of us.
Magic the Magical when coronavirus is dead and gone. My meetups were doing okay, but guess what? F you, Wizards.
Yeah.
And I've defended them so much. Even with me being a little on the negative side, I've defended them a lot over the years.
Yeah.
With all their little stupid critiques. And for me to get a message like that saying, F you, we know you're under house arrest, so congratulations, you're WP, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, I bet you're not the only store that's going through this situation. Unfortunately, stores are always moving, stores are always closing, but
about 80 stores, 8,000 stores are going to be going through this. However many,
Yeah.
I call it right now. I
yeah,
don't care what anybody says in those stupid retail forums, telling people they should have 3 months of rent stored up in their bank account for emergencies is one of the dumbest things you can do in an industry that's 90% loss leader and 10% profit.
right. Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot on small business forums online, especially ones for gaming and comic book stores, where some of the bigger ones that are in those groups really they are very unsympathetic towards the smaller stores that aren't, say, paycheck to paycheck, but they're month to month. Let's call them month to month stores. And I think it's very easy to become a month to month store in this industry just by the nature of the industry. And a lot of these bigger stores that have a little extra capital, they have no sympathy. One of the reasons is because they want to see their competition go out. I mean, come on. I mean, let's be real.
I'll give you a workdown. I'm going to say that 50% of the industry is month to month and 25% of the industry is week to week. You're going to see probably in the next 20 days a lot of announcements of stores permanently closing because their landlords aren't going to say, give me money unless the government suspends rent. And I don't see the government suspending rent because that'll total collapse the economy.
Right.
Now, what I see happening is 25% of the stores dead in 30 days, and in 3 months, another 50% of the stores gone, and you're just going to have pocket LGSs everywhere if they do not get this under control and get people back to work.
Yeah.
And even after people are back to work, I was there when the economy busted in 2004 and all the LGS was closed. And in 2011, when the economy slowly started to rebound back as people saw hope of a president getting out of office, and he didn't. And I watched half the stores in 2010 cold. 2011 to 2015 was one of the biggest growths in Magic history. 2016 happened. Another day, another woke dollar in the pocket of somebody, and all the businesses started to go downhill and tank from there.
Right.
And
I'm sorry, I was going to say, and what you're saying is we're looking at a repeat of that scenario.
Yeah, I'm saying comic book stores and Magic stores, we're going to lose about 50 to 75% in the next 3 months. Just flat out lose them, flatline. the owners are going to have no choice but to pack up and go home because landlords aren't going to wait for money if they're struggling to pay their bills too.
Right.
If everyone's struggling, the last thing a landlord's going to have is patience.
Right. Definitely.
Yep.
Why don't we
suspension?
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
On evicting people from their personal homes right now and foreclosing on mortgages, but there's absolutely nothing from businesses being told, give me money or get out.
That's true.
Right.
Sure. Why don't we take a look at what Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast is doing right now, as their how their response to what's going on with the shutdowns.
Yeah,
I know that a couple emails have gone out.
Yeah.
Right. So why don't we take a look at those?
Yeah, so I can read the blog post that Wizards of the Coast made today. They were talking about the changes to Ikoria, the next set coming out. They were talking about how they're changing the release dates and everything. And then also they did say that they are going to be helping local game stores in a way. So the first thing that I'll read is the Ikoria release schedule. Now, April 2nd is Ikoria's debut in the launch trailer, the start of previews. April 16th, Ikoria is releasing on MTGO and MTG Arena. But the set itself, paper, doesn't actually release until a month later on May 15th. It was originally supposed to all release in April, on April 17th April 16th when it launches on MTGA and MTGO. But they are actually holding the paper release back a month with allowing the content online. I'm curious to know how Asfera, as a previous local game store owner, feels about them, holding back the paper a month. Compared to the online.
You want my honest opinion on this?
I do, yes.
The paper should be suspended until they can both go live with the stores getting opened again.
Yeah, I agree.
Or, at the very least, they should find a way of getting the paper into the hands of the stores. This would be one of the very few instances, and I hate to say this, where they need to find a way to get the paper into the hands of the customers. I don't care if Wizards does a quick make an account on their website as a store. Your customers, you get an invite code. Your customers can order from the account through the Wizards store, and then Wizards does the shipping, and they'll split the profit with you, type thing.
Right.
That would be a phenomenal quick fix to this. But I mean, come on, look at all the other things they've ever handled with them doing anything digital. That would be a nightmare too.
Yeah.
People want to play their Magic, and all this is going to do is further Wizards' end game, and their end game has always been get the cards into the hands of the digital players first, so that they don't need to go somewhere else to play with them.
I mean, yeah.
I just want to mention that there's no response from any other tabletop companies, by the way. There's been nothing from Konami. There's been no response from Pokemon.
Yeah.
And there's been no response from Asmodee. There's been no response from Warhammer.
Right.
Believe it or not. Games Workshop has said nothing. So as of right now, Hasbro is the only company that's even offering anything at all. I don't know. Let's go to Cinder.
Yeah, Cinder, how do you feel about that?
Paper versus Magic right now. I've been playing the digital for quite a while. I can't get to the stores very easily anymore. Well, that's what happens when you raise a little one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right. I would rather go play at the store, but now with all of this shutdown for everyone, it's a holding pattern for everyone.
Yeah.
Kind of just got to hurry up and wait, and once things start to lift and things open up, we'll see where things go. But right now, it's hard to tell where anything's going to land. I think it's going to hurt a lot of the LGSs, and unfortunately, that's the nature of what's going on right now. Like myself, I'm out of a job because of this pandemic. It's shut down my work. There is hope that we go back to it, but when that's going to be, I don't know. I just came off a 3-year hiatus myself, so it's Magic's one of the few things that I have as a pastime, and it's really unfortunate that I can't just go into a store and play it right now.
Yeah, definitely. I know that, a lot of people are feeling the way that you do. I mean, especially with everyone, losing work and whatnot because of this situation. So many people want something to do, but they obviously can't do it because of all of the regulations that are going on, in social spaces right now. It's unfortunate all around. I mean, so many people are, in the position as you, but it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. It really is.
And I really feel for Sfera because he's lost his store from a lease problem, not because of what happened with this, and now it's this is just going to compound and delay things even more. When everyone wants to go make money right now, but no one can go and physically make that money and hang out with their friends. Like, this is everything against what we've all grown up to do.
It's like life is just stopping.
Yeah, we've grown up as a social species and everything, and it's all about being together and gathering together, and that's the whole part of the game. And I think because of this whole situation, the game is going to get fragmented.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
With Wizards offering to send out like free boxes.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll read that too before we get to that topic. Let me read what Wizards of the Coast said about that. Now, along with today's announcements about Ikoria's release schedule, they did also announce that there's a local game store release initiatives. Since the onset of the pandemic, we've been exploring multiple ways to help local game stores, and today we are discussing two things we hope that will help. First is that we have launched a reprint of Mystery Boosters, which isn't that surprising. I think that most people expected a reprint of the boosters, but they will be allocating these boosters to WPN member stores at no charge. Again, we'll have more details next week, but know that when you purchase one of the reprinted Mystery Boosters from your local game store later on, every single dollar you spend on it will be going straight to them. And second, from now until at least June 1st, we are allowing local game stores to take admission fees, up to $10, for tournaments they run on MTG Arena. Make sure you're connected with your local game store online and then check to see if they'll be running any digital tournaments during this time. That's what they said today.
Yeah, more Arena.
I find that really hard. How are people going to pay the stores to play an online game that's free? That's what I don't get out of this whole thing.
Right. They could say you have to talk to your local game store owners. Maybe it'll be like a credit card thing. Maybe it will be like you have to give them money through PayPal. It's probably up to the stores how you pay, but we don't really know right now.
It's still, so last week, when they first announced the F&M on Arena thing, they hadn't gone this far. They weren't telling people if they could charge at that point, because this is all new today. But what they announced last week was that they were going to be offering the codes for sleeves. So this is the complaint that I have been getting from other store owners from across the country. The complaint I've seen is that it doesn't really support them, that what it's doing is it's driving traffic onto Arena, onto digital, away from paper. The argument that Wizards and that a lot of people kind of give back is that, well, it's keeping your players engaged and keeping your store in their mind.
Right.
That engagement will help continue them spending money at your store, doing business with your store. But I mean, a lot of store owners have said that engagement isn't worth it, and that I've seen people say, I'll give out Arena codes when Arena gives out codes for people to redeem in my store for boosters that Wizards send me.
Right.
I've had that said to me multiple times by store owners across the country.
Yeah.
And that's an idea here. Are they going towards an idea where you pay $10 to enter a tournament that is only encapsulated from that local game store?
Right.
Are they creating these pods through Arena for the local game store? And I think the format that can easily do that is actually MTGO and not Arena.
Right.
So I find it very strange that they're pushing this.
Right.
They don't want to push MTGO. And I'll tell you what their initiative, if you look at a lot of the stuff from last week, what their initiative says, it talks about creating an online community around your store. And they said that, they have people that will counsel and help store owners that might not be, very tech savvy and might have never set up Discord servers.
Right.
But this is their suggestion: is go create a Discord server for your store, or create a Facebook group for your store, and have a TO organize the tournament through that. Everyone gives basically your arena username, and then the TO can possibly, I think the idea is to still use Wizards software, still use WER,
Right.
to pair them, and then give the pairings, and then the people will log into Arena and
It's so
fight
weird
on Arena,
though.
and then give you the results, and then you go from there. That's kind of what they're suggesting you do,
Right.
and it sounds like a big mess to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're using, what is this? We're talking now 3 different programs
Right.
to do one tournament, right?
Yep.
Now, Asfera, you would know how powerful is your point of sale system for tournaments? Is it powerful enough to run Discord, to run?
You're talking about where, like, my computer would be fine with most of this stuff, but that's because I have a beast of a machine. I'm a gamer. You're talking about where a program they don't even use for Grand Prix.
Right.
Because it breaks if you have more than 68 players.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Does indeed.
One of the things is, if you're running an event that has more than 68 players, it's suggested that you create the event, take the file from the created event, export it into not from where into DCIR, which is an old program that was done like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Run your entire event on DCIR, and then at the end, convert it back into a Ware program and put it into your computer and upload it.
Yeah.
I last used DCI Reporter, I just want to say I last used DCI Reporter, I think 11 years ago.
With all of these different programs, it's a logistical nightmare for a small
show. I will tell you from my perspective right now. As a store owner, unless they create a Ware plugin where you take people's arena names and plug them in exactly as they're printed, and then you could hit the create tournament event, and then it would pair people, and they could set up a schedule where they can log in on their own time. But I mean, logistically, this is a nightmare that is just not going to work. What? Have everybody play a friends list and catch a screen capture of the last game played and report it to the team for results for the next round's pairing? Sorry, I'm a master at Ware, and I don't even want to play with that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's just this sounds like a convoluted system.
Yeah, this is what it's come to. And like I said, a lot of the store owners that I am talking to, they all complain that no matter what you do, if it involves arena and doesn't involve giving codes or prizes that are physical, then it doesn't help them.
Right.
It doesn't help them at all. And again, I want to bring up the point about the other tabletop companies. They're doing nothing. We have heard nothing from Asmodee. Asmodee is shut down, gone.
Right.
There's no one around from them. So nothing from Asmodee. Nothing from Games Workshop. You think that Games Workshop
Games Workshop is closed right now. Like Games Workshop is closed.
Just
closed.
Yeah.
And Keyforge has been canceling a lot of events through Fantasy Flight.
So Keyforge is Keyforge is Asmodee.
Yeah.
Keyforge is Asmodee because they're Fantasy Flight, and Fantasy Flight is the biggest company in the Asmodee consortium.
Right.
So
yeah, and in all honesty, they've just been canceling events.
Yeah.
Because it's
like with everything else.
No.
What?
Keyforge is Kaijudo 2.0.
Right.
Could be. It's lasted longer than Kaijudo did.
Oh, didn't Kaijudo last a year?
Yeah.
I mean, Keyforge is about a year and a half old, right? Some other stuff that's been canceled. All Smash tournaments and Smash. The Smash organizations are some of the bigger amateur esport organizations throughout the world.
Makes no sense because 90% of that can be run through online connection.
Right.
They don't, but
you still have to share the controllers for Smash.
Not if you're playing on your Switch with someone else over a network.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but most of those Smash tournaments were on in-person,
So
much
I
like
Yeah.
the League of Legends tournaments are.
out of everything, I would figure things like Smash would be stupidly easy to organize over LAN.
Well, it's
That
Yeah.
and I think it was Smash and the Final Fantasy. No, sorry, the Street Fighter Five tournaments. People were DDoSing people to win.
yeah,
It's awful.
yeah. And that's so none of those tournaments, most of the tournament regulations don't don't allow them to be played online. So
Right.
none of that stuff. So it's all in person, and everything's been canceled. And hey, this is the thing though. At least there aren't stores that depend on. I would say that they really aren't any stores that depend on the existence of running Smash tournaments or Street Fighter tournaments, unlike all the tabletop stores, which a lot of them depend upon having the players in the store
Right.
and having tournaments run.
Yeah.
I kind of hope Wizards of the Coast looks for stores that are breaking quarantine and bans them from the WPN for life, because there's been a lot of that happen.
They
So
won't.
Fantasy Flight Games has suspended all organized play until June 1st.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean,
I
I see a lot of stores, to kind of go off what Rob was just saying. I've seen a lot of stores post on Facebook, and I'm not going to call anyone out. I'm not going to do that. But I've seen a lot of stores in Massachusetts, outside of Massachusetts, and I've seen people literally say, "I will be open till a cop shows up at my door."
Oh God, that's what GameStop did.
Yeah, I have literally seen people post that. I will be open
It's
to
awful.
unless someone they'll add unless someone's paying my rent, I will be open until
Well,
a cop shows up at my door.
I gotta say that we're dealing with that here in Edmonton. Stores, they just made an announcement today that body rub stores must close because they're staying open right
No more rub and tug.
It's like, are you kidding? Come on, the one place that you know you're gonna get a disease from is not closed yet.
Yeah.
Oh my,
Yeah.
it's so true, Cinder. Vara, what was the other email? There was the email about the mystery boosters for Magic the Gathering.
I already read
that.
all that
Okay,
they said.
so-
Yeah.
So we don't know like how many they're sending and how they're going to send them and where they're going to send them from, right? Because all the distributors, as far as I know, right, Rob, I know you've been looking into this too. The
Oh, yeah.
distributors are all shut down, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's no one to even send this product out.
They can go to Walmart because Walmart's are essential business.
Yeah.
Uh,
Haha, it's
Yeah, but
true.
I would guess here in the next couple weeks you're gonna see certain products like Magic the Gathering and certain other toys are just going to be empty on the shelves because
Well,
they're
I
not
would-
getting shipped there, right?
Well, I actually wanted to I wanted to mention this. I don't know if you all know, Nintendo Switches are sold out like everywhere.
Yep.
So
Across
so
the
the
world.
base model across the world, like the base model is like completely sold out, and there are still some like Walmarts and Targets and whatever store you may have around you that sells stuff like that have Nintendo Switch Lites. But a big problem is because half of the retailers that sold them aren't currently open, like Best Buy and GameStop. So everyone is going to places like Walmarts and Targets and everything like that to purchase these consoles. So there is this worldwide outage of things like Nintendo Switches. And I've been hearing that there's also slowly starting to be shortages on Xboxes as well.
But there's probably a ton of them sitting in GameStop and Best Buy right now.
Right, but they can't open.
I
Right.
guess
Yeah.
I got my Switch in time by a week because I got it the week of the February 14th.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
so
it right
you
on
did,
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What and wasn't there something about them selling for,
Oh yeah,
Now,
online.
like-
So on places like eBay, so GameStops and Best Buys, there are still some available of some of the Switches. Not really the base Switches or the special editions, but most base Switches, not the lights or anything, are going online for like $450.
Yeah.
because there's such a shortage of them, and people, I personally think that it's because, first of all, people are at home bored, but second of all, people have kids home that are bored.
Yeah.
I would assume that it's not only adults, that it's also parents looking for items for their kids to do, but it is a big problem. There are a lot of shortages right now going on.
Like I was saying before we started, the 920 Logitech webcams have gone through the roof.
Yeah, it's crazy, but at the same time, it's not, because there's so many people home right now that are bored and have nothing to do, and are just trying to entertain their kids and, you know, entertain themselves. I mean, how many movies can you watch? How many, like...
It's an old webcam too, right?
Oh yeah, that's an older webcam.
That's an old
yeah.
webcam.
Well, part of it is sending everyone home to work, right?
Right.
Did you hear that in 12 weeks all the pregnancy tests are going to be sold out?
Yeah.
Not gonna be surprised about that one.
I haven't heard that joke yet.
I'll send you the link later. It's hilarious.
So here's another complaint that I'm getting from a lot of other gaming store owners that I see, is they are angry about the fact that Walmart and Target are deemed as essential businesses and they're still open. And why that is because they sell all these video game products. They sell Magic the Gathering. They sell Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right, they think it's unfair.
Pokemon. So basically, all of these stores, I shouldn't say all of these stores, but these deemed essential stores like Walmart and Target are left open, because this kind of like goes back to what we were talking about the Switch, right? They're selling out of Switches. But now it could also turn out that, say, Wizards of the Coast decides to start just shipping tons of Magic to Walmart because they know Walmart is open and can sell it.
Yeah.
So instead of going to the LGSs, so there is conspiracy theories running around where people, a lot of these owners are saying that, like, I bet you're going to see a ton of Magic, a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh, a ton of Pokemon, even more so than usual, on store shelves in Walmarts and Targets, because even in a shutdown, Walmarts and Targets are open.
You won't see it for one reason. They're high theft material, and a lot of states, especially the blue ones, have decided not to prosecute petty theft because there's not enough officers to deal with everything and catching part of it.
Right.
Yeah, like, it's dumb. Honestly, the truth of the matter is, Walmart's essentials because almost every single one of them has a pharmacy, sells food, and has emergency cleaning needs. Same with your Targets and your other big box stores. Same with your Amazon's fulfillment centers. Like, for instance, the employees in the fulfillment centers are now being required to be 2 lanes apart from each other and are required to be checked on every 30 minutes from a supervisor to make sure that they're still on their feet and not on the floor dead.
Yikes. Yikes. But
that's crazy.
It's a bad situation. It's bad.
On the other end of this, let's try to think about on the other end of this. You know, when the stores reopen, or it's time that they can reopen. I mean, let's say it's middle of May that most stores reopen as Farah. What do you think the state of most of that stores will be in at that point?
Not until the middle of June or July before the customers can come back and have money. They'll be able to show up and play.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, it's going to take at least a month for buyers to have confidence enough to spend disposable income. It's going to be at least a month before people have the paranoia of pandemic out of their minds to actually be willing to go out and play someplace, figuring if I give it an extra month, then all the germs will be dead on all the tables and I can go out and I don't have to worry about getting a secondary infection.
Right.
We're just FUBAR right now. The industry's going to be topsy-turvy for a while, and I think, honestly, it's going to be a lot more home games for the interim, next 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
But I think 60% of the stores that exist now are going to disappear. What do you think for a percentage? What do you guys think?
That's probably pretty close.
I would say, depending on where it is, 25 to 75%. And I put 25% in the short term and 75% in the long term being 3 months. And that's because 75% of your stores live month to month or less.
Right.
And people are like, no, man, I go to the store, it's thriving. And I'm like, Yeah. What type of car does the owner drive? What type of house do they live in? Do they own?
Yeah.
Do they have a ton of money in the bank? Are they old school money or are they new people that set up?
Right.
Were did you notice subtle differences in the store? Like when you walk in, is the store clean or
Right.
is it? How many staffers does the store have? Is the store a two-person staff store? They're going to be the ones that fail first. Or
Right.
is it a store with like 7 or 8 employees? Those will be the ones that succeed because the first thing the
Right.
store people with 7 to 8 employees are going to do is get down to 2 employees in the short term, and then they'll be able to shave that payroll and ship it somewhere and push themselves longer. So the
Right.
stores with the least amount of people are the ones that are going to be the ones that close first.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
can
we
see
know
that.
that at least in Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire, where the majority of us here are,
Yep.
there is an overabundance of stores. So I just don't see the majority of them surviving.
Yeah.
Maybe the majority of them shouldn't survive. Maybe the market's just been too congested. And this is,
Right.
hey, Asfera, you said it last year, maybe even the year before that. 2020 was going to be the year.
2020 was going to be a year where the congestion was too much, and people were both comic book and in magic based stores we're going to see a 50% loss of all of those businesses this year. And leading into the start of this year, January, February, at least in our region, there were at least 3 stores that shut down that were prominent stores. And people talking about opening new stores. Hell, my friend was talking about opening a store down in JP, and now he's like, "Yeah, I ain't doing nothing for 6 months to a year."
Right.
Right after the one that was in JP, and
Yep.
by everyone, that is Jamaica Plains, which is a section of Boston. There was a store there, and it shut down because rent was too high.
Yeah,
Right.
he's looking to buy a building. That's the difference. He's got that
Right.
kind of looking to basically retire in his mid-20s.
Right.
Hey, it's a good plan. As Cinder, what's the landscape looking like in your area? And
Most
what
of
do
the
you
stores
think?
are open still, but are doing drive-up delivery. Like a couple of them turn to delivery. You can drive up. Like I said, I haven't been to a store in a while,
Right. Right.
and I've just been kind of keeping tabs what I see on Facebook.
Right. Fair enough.
So I just want to mention about the comic book stores, because we had kind of touched on the comic book stores. They're in an even worse position, I think, a little bit than pure gaming stores, as we know a lot of gaming stores are hybrid, and the biggest hybrid that exists is comic books. So it is important to kind of talk about.
Yeah.
The way that comic book stores get their shipments, the way that they get their allotments, is they have to pick that stuff out like 3 months in advance in these very huge and in these very large order forms that Diamond has, and that stuff adds up and it comes every week.
Yeah.
So right now that stuff is just piling up at Diamond, who is shut down.
They're not even getting it. They can't pile up. No shipments going to them.
Yeah, so Diamond is shut down, and all Diamond has said is, we'll hold your stuff for you and you can take it over time. They're basically telling stores that they have to pay for everything that they already ordered.
Right.
That they have no choice. And you know what's going to happen is a lot of stores are going to say nope, because comic books have such a short shelf life.
Oh,
you have to
yeah.
sell those
my
comic
God.
books have to sell within 2 weeks of release, or they are worthless.
Right.
And a lot of comic books are going to be worthless. People are not going to want to go back and buy their back 3-4 months of their subscription. They're just going to want to show up and say, hey, I just want to buy what's coming out now. Yeah, we missed the last 3 months. I don't want to pick it up. And
Right.
Diamond, the way they ship things, is going to force these shipments, these complete shipments, on these stores. And these stores aren't going to be able to take it. They're going to refuse the shipments, and they're going to lose their Diamond accounts, and they're going to go out of business.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it sounds like this is what is going to happen.
Yeah, the fallout of all of this is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's going to be ridiculous for every industry, though. It's not just games or, comics. It's going to be every industry is going to start having a problem, but when you're a small store, I mean, I don't know if I should say you should always expect the worst to happen and you should be prepared or not.
You almost can't.
Right.
So let's go back to what Asfera was saying about how the concept of these bigger stores, these 20%, maybe 20% of the market stores, telling everyone else that, oh, you should have had 3 months rent in the bank.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's not the right industry.
No. Here's the thing. Those are what we refer to in the industry of ivory tower stores. They have no fucking clue what's going on because they have nothing but old school money sitting around since the dawn of time. They've got these huge bank accounts and think that everybody has these huge bank accounts. The truth of the matter is 25% of your stores live week to week. If they don't make a good week, they're 1 foot in the grave 2 weeks in a row and they're out of business.
Right.
50% of your stores live month to month with just enough to get by, and the remaining 25% are better to do stores that make a decent amount of money, and then the top 5% are the ones that are just like have so much money that they were able to overbuy and control the market in their region, stomping out all competition, forcing people to own that their store is the only game in town. Literally, I mean, look at your star cities. You can't find a game store within an 80-minute drive.
Yeah, right.
In any direction because people are driving 80 minutes to go play at their store. They're driving an hour and 20, right?
Yeah.
No,
right.
Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes to get to a game store to play in it because it's so big, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And you know what? They get overcharged for it, and they're lemons.
Yeah.
But stores will survive, but it's only a matter of time if we don't see the LGS return.
Right.
Like, I'm already planning. I'm saving money. I'm slowly holding on stuff. Oh, Magic single prices. Reserve list has been spiking. Everything else has been dropping. If you go look at eBay, it's kind of like what happened when the Greece economy collapsed. Everybody was putting their stuff up for sale and shipping it to wherever they could just to get the money they needed.
Yeah, right.
And, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. More memes.
So is this what is it? And I want to talk more about this. Is this what is going on? Right? If I'm right, you can. It looks like legacy and vintage cards, especially reserve list cards, are they're at least staying at what they are. Some of them had a short-term drop, but it looks like that they're kind of getting more and more expensive. But the market from modern up, modern pioneer, standard is literally being flooded. And there's so many people out there trying to sell collections right now that there's way more people selling than there is buying. And the companies that are accepting cards, I heard that Star City is still accepting cards, even though they're not open right now. Their buy pricing, their buy lists they're terrible.
They are, yeah.
Meaning they're really low.
It's because right now everyone is trying to sell and make that extra money that they need to just live, but no one's buying a lot of this stuff.
And that goes back to a scenario like what I'm dealing with right now in personal life. I can't work at my job because of COVID. I can't sell any of my stuff because of COVID. And I can't gain any benefits from the government because I wasn't back at my job long enough because of COVID.
Right.
What am I supposed to do? I can't sell my stuff. I can't make any money, period.
And Sender, worse than that, YouTube ad rev is down the toilet. Nobody's getting ad rev. YouTube is
it's getting spread out too thin.
And people don't have money to contribute to their favorite YouTubers.
Yep.
So the people that were relying on this that didn't have a serious bank set up are all sitting back right now and losing money.
Right.
So, I mean, what do you do? Ooh,
I guess I can say this for anyone who's watching: if you've got the extra cash and you're doing pretty well even through this, and you're looking for cards, search out people who are trying to sell their collections because they are really hit hard times, and give them a fair price and buy their stuff. I think it's one of the best ways that Magic players that are not having a problem right now can help other Magic players that are having a problem is, search out people that need to move cards to pay stuff, definitely give them a fair price, and you get cards and they get the money they need to pay for stuff.
This would be a good time for me to just twist the screen really quick, Fire, if you want to throw me up, and I will show you that right now,
Nice.
that's about, each one of those boxes is about 7,000 rares, and it's a cat stand.
I like it.
It's a
Oh
cat
boy.
stand. My cat sleeps there.
Yeah.
Because
Like
I am not trying to sell the market is so tanked. What do? You
Right.
have to step back.
Meow meow.
Just
not to get into questions about stimulus and stuff like that. I don't know what's going up there in Canada, and I'm sure you've seen all the battles back and forth down here about the stimulus stuff. But
Oh my God.
we are all getting money down here.
Well,
Cinder, what are they? Are they going to? Is the government? Are they going to help you at all?
well, I've gotten a little bit here today because I'm kind of considered self-isolation. So the Alberta government actually put out a thing, and after they've gotten their site figured out, I was able to apply to that today. Now that's only a small amount for the time that we're going to be looking that we're off. The federal government, their original emergency funding was for people that were sick, quarantined, or required childcare. That was it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
God.
Right?
Where-
In
where
Alberta,
you-
we are not officially quarantined.
Right.
We haven't had the muster in place come down like there has been in California and stuff like that. I'm not sick and I'm not quarantined.
Right.
I told you we're under quarantine because something happened at work and you became in contact.
But that was a rumor. It wasn't an official word,
Right.
right? I wasn't told that directly, so I can't go off. Unfortunately, with a rumor, you can't just go off a rumor
Yeah.
per se, right?
Right.
You need the official context for that.
Yeah.
And you weren't. I hate to ask. You weren't working long enough to be eligible for unemployment insurance.
Yeah, I only had 370 hours. I filed for sickness benefits because that's what they were saying originally, and I got denied.
That
Ugh.
sucks. So one of the things they did in the U.S. is they extended they opened up unemployment insurance to a lot more people that wouldn't have been eligible before.
Yeah.
They made it so that if you only worked 2 months, you were still eligible. A lot of other stuff that before you wouldn't have been eligible.
Massachusetts, in Massachusetts, you're eligible regardless of how much time you work. It's just more beneficial if you've worked more than 5 months, but they take your last 18 months of income into account.
Yeah.
And if you have no income in the last 18 months except for XYZ, then they're going to stretch that over 52 weeks, and you're going to get like a $15 a month paycheck. And that's that's the boat Sender would be in right now if he was in the States.
Right.
Well, and also new with the Canadian version, we're supposed to each be getting like $2,000 a month, and our child tax benefit and our GST is supposed to be increased by quite a bit. But that $2,000 a month is for the next 4 months. If this prolongs past that, the people that would have been able to claim EI, then their EI would be running out in 4 months, and then they can claim that additional $2,000 a month, where I would not be able to.
Right.
Yeah.
It's quite frustrating in that sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's just
And-
it sucks.
And it just sucks with the flooding of the market right now, because I know we all of us probably have cards that are worth money, that are still worth money even with what's going on, but there's just no buyers.
Right.
Not unless you're selling Doolands. I'm sure there's still buyers for Doolands out there.
Oh yeah.
But-
Oh yeah.
They're going to wake you over the coals for it.
Yeah.
People are sitting on their cash right now. Me, I've got money set aside. I'm not discriminately spending. I've frozen my spending habits right now because I don't know how long this is going to go on for. I want to be able to make sure I can pay my rent. So that when this does get back up and running again, we don't have to worry about that kind of debt and a flood into the court system.
Right.
Here's the thing. Until they have a significant date, and I know down in the States they're saying by Easter, I highly doubt that's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. That's way too soon.
The governor in our state of Massachusetts, Baker, just canceled school until May 4th, just in time for Cinco de Mayo, where nobody's going to be drinking Corona.
Yeah.
School is canceled here until September. minimum.
Damn. This is what I think is going to happen in most of New England, specifically Massachusetts. I believe that moving it to May, they're just going to cancel it completely, because why wouldn't they? They only go one more month.
Yeah.
They only go 30 days past that.
Here's the thing: is if we can get past this and they can make it to May, they can extend school until July and make up the month of school that the kids missed, so that they don't flub the year. But if they do not start by May 4th, and this is as bad as I think it's going to be, they're going to have to flub the year and start everybody back at zero for next year. Think about it this way. The number of kids in high school that are going to drop out, this is going to be one of the largest dropouts in U.S. history.
Well, here in Alberta, they're just pretty much giving everyone their diploma. If you were in grade 12, you're getting your diploma regardless.
It's not those things to worry about, Senator. I mean, if you have enough credits as of right now, you'll probably get your diploma for high school. But the people before them are going to come out and get, well, I have to go through the senior year again. Screw this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Not here. They don't tend to backtrack on that here. When we had the the fires in Fort McMurray, everyone in Fort McMurray got their high school diploma, and they didn't hold people back for that extra year. So
in Massachusetts, we have a graduation exam for high school called the MCAS. It's a decent exam. I've had to tutor a lot of people through that exam, and Massachusetts has not announced a suspension of it this year yet. But the rumor is, I've talked to other tutors. The rumor is that all graduation requirements for seniors in high school in Massachusetts in the next week will be suspended, meaning that they won't have to have them, which means they're just going to graduate them all.
Right.
Yeah. I hear that a lot of graduation is going through Minecraft now, so...
Oh, yeah, there were some, yeah. That was good.
Wait, tell me more about this.
Oh, there was a kindergarten class that was supposed to be able to graduate, and because they couldn't do a physical graduation, they held their graduation in Minecraft.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they set up a whole like a whole world with like little chairs and
didn't
like
they put it all on Twitch too?
Yeah, they streamed it on Twitch so they'd always have the memory, and they also, they had their graduation in Minecraft because they couldn't in real life. Good for them. Good for them.
God, please tell me at the end they raised creepers on them.
Oh, so mean, man.
The creepers came out with the diplomas.
The creepers came out with the diplomas.
No, but that would be funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of Minecraft,
I mean, at least there are kids that are, still having fun and still doing okay, and this isn't truly like harshly affecting them. I mean, to a certain degree, a lot of kids would rather be like, yeah, I'll stay home, but at the same time, things like graduation are exciting for kids, and at least,
well,
they're doing
a
something.
lot of kids are without being able to see their friends, and there's that part of this that I think is going to get to a lot of parents and kids, because they don't get to do their play dates. They don't get to go out and have fun.
Right.
Here in Edmonton, they also just shut down playgrounds because people weren't staying home.
Right.
Anybody watch the Dow Jones Industrial Average for today?
No. Did it go up? It was going up. It went up yesterday.
It went up 6%. It's the third consecutive rebound day. We're at 22.5 right now. That's actually a good sign.
It's a good sign, but it's not going to save what kind of we've been talking about, though, which is these stores.
So long as the House Democrats tomorrow just vote yes and don't stonewall it like I think Taleb and Cortez are going to do, I really think they're going to try to block it.
It is ridiculous how they are holding you guys hostage.
Yeah.
Your elected officials are in power, and instead of finding solutions, they're finding ways to make more fighting.
I think, without trying to take either side on the issue, both sides are pulling a lot of stuff, as what happens with all politics, right? Everyone's always kind of pulling their own stuff.
Not a time for politics as usual. I'm sorry. Remember what happened in France. It started like this.
Yep.
And heads rolled.
The French Revolution. So what You know what I was wondering is, we're talking about you reopening the store, getting everything back on your feet. Like, with all of this going on, what are you thinking for like a time frame for something like that? Are you thinking like next year, 2021? Are you thinking like maybe September, or is it just something you have to leave in the air because of the quarantines and the shutdowns and who the hell knows? And I actually have another question, something that's been talked about again by a lot of these store owners. A lot of the store owners who have said, well, hey, there's going to be a lot of shutdowns, but we think that unfortunately that's going to lead to a huge bubble in early 2021 where you're going to see just a whole new breed of people opening up another wave of stores, causing the same thing to happen
Right.
that happened before, which is
Did
too many stores.
Kingsmate finally join us?
Yes, you
Hey,
did.
thing. You want the truth in this? My
Yeah.
time minimum is 6 months at this point. I figured if we're looking at 45 days on this,
Yeah.
and if we're 45 days before we hit the peak, that means another 45 days to get past the bubble. That's 3 months. At which point in time, people might actually start spending money a month later. I can start slowly moving stuff instead of looking for vultures trying to take advantage of a good deal now of people's misery. I can sit back and slowly sell stuff off, save money over time, and then in 6 months look to open up. The truth of the matter is, though, about that whole 2021 thing, I don't know if we'll have money to open a store. Right, like you're talking like most of these people are going out with like 50 grand and thinking, I could open a game store, but there isn't one in the area. And the truth of the matter is all those stores are gonna flop. They don't have an inventory, they don't have singles, things like that.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey,
Now, can you hear me?
we can hear you now.
Yep.
I can't hear you guys at the moment, so I have to see what's going on.
I got
If you can hear me.
They don't like you.
So I hear you about the 2021 stuff. I'm hoping that something like that doesn't happen, and that if a lot of stores do go out, which they will, that new stores that open are actual responsible business owners, and aren't these 50K I'm going to open a store because it's my dream type of people. And that's another thing that I see coming, that I hear from these people all the time too. What I said earlier about store owners being so defiant and saying I'm going to stay open until the cops show up, like they always added something like, this store was my dream.
Yeah.
I'll lose money on it for the next 10 years if I have to. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to stay open to the cops show. Like,
And
that's the
the reasoning why those stores close in the long run.
Right.
Those stores will close first because the customers won't go to them knowing that their customer is just a dollar sign and that the store doesn't actually care about their health and well-being.
Right.
All I gotta say is if you can ride through this pandemic and you have money at the end of 2.5 to 3 months, that's when you want to buy into these cards.
Yep.
Can I be heard now?
We
hear you.
could hear you
We can hear you
before.
Guys, hey, look at that.
So,
You're low, but I hear you.
not the last word on the stores, but
About that.
what is the sovereignty of GameStop? That is,
Oh my god, don't get me started with GameStop, man.
I mean, what is the sovereignty of GameStop?
is definitely not an essential product.
They're an essential retail store.
I got for GameStop. I called it at the end of 2018 when I said sometime between 2019 and 2020, GameStop will close down and go out of business.
But that's not fair.
GameStop has been
Okay,
in
Ricky
the-
that's
in
not
the
really
flails of closing.
that's not
for
really
the
fair
last
though,
3 years.
because they're not closing because of bullshit that they've done. They're possibly facing a closure because of a pandemic.
I don't think they'll be reopening because they're losing too much money and they were already bootstrapping month to month.
Let's be honest here. GameStop set themselves up for the inevitable failure that they're going to be experiencing now due to the economy because they mismanaged their business for like 7 years.
Well,
And-
true.
Like that and the way they train their team members for client customer service now, it's just not what GameStop is known, what GameStop used to be known for, or what they're actually valued at anymore. It's unfortunate.
Right.
The second they bought out
some
ThinkGeek
people have-
Online, I knew they were doomed because they
Yeah.
own ThinkGeek.
They brought Ricky Fils-Aimé in as a last-ditch effort to try to save the thing because they thought, well, a name from Nintendo might get it, and that maybe Nintendo will give us a whole bunch of licensing, but Nintendo's basically gave them the finger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The only thing they
Nintendo
were
always
allowed to do was sell game cards that I could walk over to Walgreens and buy.
Yeah.
And Walmart sells all those game cards as well. So, one of the thing about the argument about solvency though, and about setting yourself up for failure. I mean, that's a lot of the criticism though that you're basically giving to GameStop, which they deserve, has also been said about the airlines. And I don't want to get into the discussion about the airlines, but I'm just saying that like the airlines are getting a bailout, and a lot of people are saying that they shouldn't get a bailout because they didn't properly manage their funds.
Right.
Well, I mean, the airlines, though, I mean, that is a national essential type. It's kind of like an essential thing.
Understood.
So
That's why they're getting the
I can
bailouts.
see why they're probably. I think that's why they're going to offer them a bailout. But if you saw that, Boeing said no to this. They said they do not want to be part of this, and they got an exception to not have to be forced into this.
You know,
Because they said,
Hollywood
"We'd rather
isn't
let
getting a
people go."
bailout.
Hollywood
Yeah,
was denied a bailout, weren't
Yeah,
they?
they were
Yeah.
denied a bailout. They were told
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So I guess
So apparently,
speaking of the stimulus money, sorry, let me just mention. Speaking of
go
the
ahead.
stimulus money and talking about getting money to small businesses, out of the game store industry, who will get these loans? Will a lot of these stores go on because they're able to get loans? Will a lot of these stores be denied loans? Will GameStop get a loan? And this is kind of a question for everyone. Why don't we just start?
the large businesses will. They're going to be offered something like that, and I think a lot
It'll
of them are going
be
to take it or walk away.
it'll be the large businesses and the very small businesses that get help here.
LGS
These
is
ones in the middle,
legit.
like GameStop, will not be.
This is
GameStop,
legit.
GameStops will qualify for loans. LGSs will not. As soon as you put the word collectible on your loan application, the bank auto slams denied and kicks you the fuck out. Speaking from a large sum of experience on this.
The
100% agree.
I'm saying they're going to get it from the government, not the bank.
No, the government.
I think the government's going to adopt the same strategy that the bank uses because
They'll
I
look at it more as a small business on the government side. They won't. The government doesn't see collectibles as a thing in government. They will see it more of it's a small business. They went under because
They'll let the
they were
small
shut down.
businesses be fine. And here's the thing. I know, Cinder, you're Canadian. The rest of us are American. Any of you guys who are small business owners, all of you who are small business owners, this is what I've been telling all the small businesses in my local area, even the ones that are not collectible card stores. The SBA, Small Business Association, because we are considered on a national it's considered a national disaster at this point in time. The SBA, there is an open general fund that you can apply for to receive an SBA loan that's low interest, if not, depending on your business size, 0% interest. You just get the money to help you survive for a few months and get paid the money back. On top of that, they're also opening up the COVID-19 coverage as well. So you can apply for up to $2 million for SBA backing and help.
Yeah.
And that's not even federal. That's just SBA.
Yeah, and that's where I'm
that's
saying
to help you.
that stuff doesn't the bank doesn't see that so much. That's straight from the government.
SBA is an insurance thing that small businesses pay into anyway all the time. You might as well be utilizing that crap if they've opened it up for you to have. Take advantage of it right now.
Yeah.
Like, go for it. There's a lot of local stores in my area that are like meat stores, that are like small businesses that do like roofing and stuff like that. I've been telling them, a lot of friends that do those businesses, I'm like, dude, you guys are going to be out of business for at least a month right now. You're going to be low on business unless you're in Michigan, unless you're like construction. You're going to be basically out of business here. It's going to hurt you guys, and you have to keep the employees on staff, and in order to pay for that and their unemployment and whatnot, you got to get some type of money to help you out, to keep you floating. SBA is the best way for you to go to start off until the Senate, until the House close it. Well, I don't think it's going to happen. I'll be honest. I think Ilhan Omar and them are going to come in and kind of sit down and say no.
All right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just want to mention that the SBA is done by state, is not a and the SBA rules are different by state.
Yeah, they do differ by state, but their general,
Yeah.
their federal application process right now is universal. So they basically changed the rules because of this whole COVID crap,
Yes,
which is nice.
But the loans themselves are personal loans to the owners of the business. So even if the business fails after the fact, you're still responsible to pay it back, and you're still out of business. Plus, stores will
The
not.
thing is, though, you might as well utilize every single avenue that try to keep your business floating if you want to keep floating, especially if it's a business that's going to be successful.
A lot of this, though, is like a slush fund, or this is what we paid taxes into a long time ago. This is money that's always been funneled to put aside, and it's it's stuff that's been there in case this happens.
It's the insurance that you pay for a small business. At least in Michigan, the small businesses here pay into the SBA as part of their insurance. They're required to here in Michigan as part of your licensing, and you might as well utilize it. The reason why you pay into it here is so you have guaranteed access to that in case of a disaster or something. But on a different note, this just came out. The Xbox Series X was hacked, and it's up for $1 million in ransom money. The hacker is telling AMD and Microsoft that he will give them the code that he stole.
The source codes. Oh, the source codes.
Everything. He's holding it hostage for $100 million.
It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's first of all.
They'd rather.
I'm going to laugh in the public.
Right now, they'll rather let the Xbox next gen system die.
Yeah, AMD doesn't care. They said they are going to care about their stuff, but it sounds like he has code. The way this sounds and reads, he even has AMD code, which is not good for AMD and on their bottom end.
Well, so I'm looking at, it just says apparently they've had this code for a bit now. This isn't apparently new. The article that I'm reading, they've had this code for like a month. And you know what keeps happening, which is going to keep happening? Everywhere that they post it online, if it's on like Amazon or eBay or whatever, it instantly gets taken down.
Oh, yeah.
It's never going to stay online, and no one's going to buy it. And Microsoft is just going to be like, yeah, right, okay, try to sell it. They're never going to get anyone to buy it.
And there's always a thing that we like to call hot fixes anyway.
Yeah.
So anything that they use this code to modify, change. And I know it's annoying to have to constantly download updates and security features and stuff like that, but I'm sure Microsoft can continuously write, and it's going to suck for them, but they can continuously write hot fixes.
The big thing for this is the fact that it's Microsoft utilizing an AMD processor, which AMD processors, these newer gen AMD processors were supposed to not have very many exploits in them compared to the Intel processors, which they have obscenely stupid exploits.
The Zen 2's right. The Zen 2 the Zen 2 stuff was supposed to be very secure, and it was one of the things
super secure.
They sold it. They were trying to sell it.
They sold it as that.
Yeah, exactly.
They sold us on that. They told everyone that. I went out and bought picked up 4 or 5 of the Ryzen 7s and Ryzen 9s just so I could have them to build the systems with, because they're such a hot commodity. I'm testing a 5 and a 7 right now for enterprise. I mean, if this has this type of an exploit in it, and it turns out that this is actually legit, he's got the AMD coding, it's going to be worse than an Intel leak.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like it could protect.
This could hurt AMD big time, and they refuse to comment on any of it.
Well, yeah, no one's going to comment.
There's ongoing legal investigation, quote unquote.
Right.
So
this is hilarious.
Anyway, it's crazy. Back to the gaming stores. So let's say that the SBA in all the different states ends up giving a lot of these little stores loans. I still am on the side of what it's fair is saying, which the problem is these aren't grants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, Rob? They're not grants.
They're not grants.
Some will be.
Well, not from the SBA. From the government, maybe from the feds, but not the SBA and the state stuff. And they're going to reopen. They're not going to be able to pay this stuff back, and they're going to go out of business anyway. That's
the big thing. Is I think what it's going to happen is a lot of small business owners don't know what's their limit, so they're going to take more than what they think they need, and that's what's going to hurt them in the long run.
Well,
Right.
that I had that conversation with the wife today about stuff here. They're enacting that you can defer your utilities right now, and deferring utility payments
Means you're still paying them back.
one of the worst things you can do right now, because you're going to have to pay it back eventually. And when those deferrals are up, and if you don't pay that in full, and you've racked up however much in your utilities, you're not going to see it. They're going to go. You're going to see people come out of this way worse than they went into it if they're not smart about it.
Right.
And
How many
that's the
LGSs?
big thing.
How many LGSs do you know that do it right? Most of them are mom and pop shops that run
None of them.
unstable businesses.
None of them. They're gonna ask for more than what they think they need.
Well, no, they're going to open. Do they really want to open their finances up to the government in order
Yeah.
to get?
Right.
I know at least 2 here do it right. One is a chain store of 3 stores,
I paid all
and the
my
other one is I think they're a chain, but they only have 1 location here.
Right.
I mean, I paid all my taxes. I did everything right with my business, and I can tell you right now that I wouldn't want to take one of these loans because I know that as a small business, you go month to month to month, and this loan is literally going to put you at a negative loss.
What if you have a bad month?
In one bad month, your store's closed, and you still have a personal reconnaissance on it.
There will be grants though too on top of all of this, so I would wait and see what comes out of this.
The grants are going to be part of the whole economic stimulus funding.
Yeah,
if we can get Pelosi off of her ass to do that stuff, we might actually have a little bit better outcome.
The last 3 years for me, I've racked up a little bit of debt because of the last 3 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When I went back to work, I was able to start looking at it and start doing things with it, but now I can't.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I kind of look forward to the end of this because that means there's probably going to be more programs for forgiveness for some of these things.
Right.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, yeah, we got to look for kind of like the silver lining, so to speak.
Yeah.
And maybe the silver lining, as far as the game stores would go, and I'll mention it again. And me and Rob were talking about it. Is that maybe the game stores that we're going to be left with will be the better game stores? That's what I want to believe.
Like, maybe it'll be the ones that were responsible. Maybe.
Right.
Honestly,
I mean, what do you think we're going to be left with, Rob?
Like, if GameStop is going to be one of those stores that we're left with, then I don't know.
I hope not.
That's going to be miserable if we're left with
gaming. I'm not talking electronic gaming. I'm talking purely LGS whenever I say the word game store.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now that we're going to be left with scumbags and people with deep pockets because they usually go hand in hand.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, my local store, he's been smart about how he's been doing this stuff. So the nice thing is, like, my local store, well, 2 of the local stores in my area, they don't have to worry about, like, both of them own all the stores that they're at. So they own their fronts. They bought them straight out. They've already been paid off. The worst they have to worry about is electrical bills and power, gas, all that stuff. And they don't have to pay the rent because that's, owned. And then they don't have to worry about having issues on that end. And then they told their employees, hey, some of them laid them off, and they said, hey, we're going to lay you off for the time being with the guarantee that you're coming back at the time that it's required, because I don't want to have to rehire new people. You guys are all great. The reason why I have a good store is because you guys make it successful.
Right.
And you'll get some honest ones, but you're going to, like Asfera said, you're going to have more people that are going to be just taking advantage of the system because they're smart about it.
Right.
And they just know that they can do that. So
yeah,
that's why I was
interesting.
That's why I was mentioning earlier, if you're a person that's got some money and you're in the market to buy cards,
buy 'em.
And buy them right now, but be fair about it. Like, know that a lot of the Magic players that are selling cards personally, they're in trouble. They're in financial trouble. Don't be a douchebag.
Right.
Give them a fair price. Give them a fair price. You're getting cards, and yes, you're going to get them a little cheaper than normally, but at least give them the fair price. Don't be a douchebag. Let's help each other out.
don't buy until you're ready to run your business again. Sit on the money, make sure you can keep your business open. You'd be better off not buying than you would be giving people scum prices. You're going to get a shitty reputation and nobody...
Well, there are just
here's
people
the
in
argument,
general
too.
that
I'd tell
aren't
people-
that aren't stores that want to buy cards. So it's an unfortunate thing because yes, people are flooding the market and they're gonna get shit prices for their cards, but I get it because they're in a hard place. But I kind of see it as at least there's people that are still able to buy to give those people the money that they want. Like people, it's hard to say because on one hand I want to say people don't have to post the cards, but at the same time they have to post the cards because, you know, they're out of a job right now. But at least I hate to say it, but at least there are still sharks like Rudy and like other people that might buy the cards to buy them at a cheap price. At least the market's still moving a little bit. It's hard to say because it's like on one hand it's shitty, but on another hand at least people are still selling cards. I mean, it is, I hate to say it, but it's business, you know? Business, people go through hard times and people buy and people
are
sell.
Still selling cards. Sorry to interrupt you there, Vera.
No, you're fine.
Card Kingdom and TCG Player have both shut down until mid-April.
Well, right, but there are those independent sellers that it's like people might have an online business. It's just business.
I was talking about individuals. I was talking about individuals.
Yeah.
Not the companies. I was talking about
the bigger companies are the ones with the overhead, though.
Right.
So using them more, the individuals you're not going to see everywhere, and those individuals, you know, they're trying to make a buck out of all of this, and unfortunately, right now they're going to get away with it, and they're going to come out of this probably better.
Yeah.
But right now is not a buy. No, right now is not a time to buy cards.
Not time to
if you've got the money, it is like, especially with the prices being low. If you're someone who's
2 to 3 months from now will be the time.
Well,
I would rather buy right now because they're going to be low. Because then, if the U.S. has a good economic bounce back after this, if we do get things opened up within the next month or so, or if by Easter that's legit and we are able to get the economy up and rolling, that's a big bounce back. Just announcing the fact that the relief bill was coming good. The stock market had the largest gain it's ever had in the history of the stock market.
Right.
Yesterday it was like only 2,200 points. It's obscene.
Right.
Like that's just because of good news. So if we get some good news and actual good action on that news, we might see the market just do a full-on rebound here in the U.S., which is really good. Or it could go horribly bad, and we are looking at a depression, which means then sales, then you might as well buy in 6 months because the cards are going to be so dirt cheap. People are just going to be trying to get rid of them.
Right.
Well, I just want to mention something that we did talk about earlier was that there's different cards are like at different prices right now.
Yeah,
so,
there are different premiums.
What I mean by that is like the legacy vintage reserve list stuff is not moving, meaning it's still expensive. It's not dropping in price. But everything else, modern, pioneer, and whatnot, the market is flooded with that stuff. And that stuff is crashing. So it's like the cards that people that have a ton of money usually move and deal with have not lost any value.
Right.
Astral Recall like 2 weeks ago was like a $15 to $20 card. Now it's $5.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the market's not. The market's weak right now. It's good to be picking in some, especially your modern things, because you might be able to resell them at higher. And then, like I picked up, it's a good time to go to your local LGS and pick them up if they're still open.
Right.
Because like in my area, I can't go buy anything, but I made sure to go over there and buy as much as I could. I took about $1,500 and went over there and bought boxes just to invest in and give them some money because they need it. You know, I'm like, well, it's just sitting here in a bank account. I might as well put something into it, and I can use it I was going to use it for buying cards eventually. Might as well get them now while the pricings are good and it's fair to them, and it gets them some money that's injected into their system to pay for bills or whatever, and they get stuff off the shelf before they have to close.
Right.
And, I picked up like 2 boxes of mystery boosters that they had there. I picked up a bunch of booster packs.
What was the price on those mystery boosters?
$100 a box.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, wow. That's
I got
cheap.
them at $100 a box because
they're at 180 Canadian. That's why.
Yeah, they were the first run. He got them at a good price, so he gave me a very fair price on them.
Yeah, that's a damn good price.
get them.
Like and I think the reason he did that is because I walked in there and he's like, I'm like, I got $1,500 to burn. It's burning
Yeah,
a hole in my
right.
pocket. I need to spend it now. I want mystery boosters. I want all these. I want this and this and this. And he's like, dude, here, I'll give you the mystery boosters for 100 a piece. If you're buying modern packs of like Guilds of Ravnica, and you're buying modern packs of Modern Masters 1, Modern Masters 2 that I have here, you're buying me out on these things, I'm going to give you a deal on that stuff.
Right.
Which is
So
it was the fair thing, you know?
It is definitely fair. Yeah, I just want to mention that the retro game market, though, hasn't really budged. No, and
They
I
might
know
actually go
it's
up
not-
'cause
I know
people
it's not
love
the
retro.
same. Yeah, I know it's not the same, not exactly the same type of buyers, but yeah, it hasn't budged, and if anything, the stuff has gotten more expensive.
Right.
Because
Over the
everybody
last
wants that. Now that they're stuck at home, they'll be playing video games. You might see the video game market go up. I mean, look at what Epic Games did today. They dropped freaking World War Z for free today.
Well, we talked about
try to
it.
get people on
We
there.
talked about it a little bit, and it's not. We talked about it a little bit. The fact that Nintendo Switches are sold out worldwide right now. You can still find them, and I don't think that I don't think that like Walmarts are going to raise their games above $60. But I do think that we are going to see maybe like the more popular games being sold out. And I think that because, first of all, the fact that you have large retailers like Best Buy and GameStop, you're not able to walk in and shop, so the places to purchase are limited, but also just the fact that people are buying so many, there's kind of those two things equal, like the games being sold out and you're not being able to find them.
Well, people
exactly.
can't resell toilet paper anymore, so they gotta resell something.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm selling 5 squares of toilet paper, $10 a square. Who wants some?
Nice.
Y'all want some?
How about this? I was thinking about this, about digital distribution with video games, and just like how we were kind of mentioning earlier, how Wizards' initiatives about the F&Ms on Arena, even though they're trying to connect the stores, a lot of store owners are saying, well, hey, that's just driving more people towards Arena. Could this also be something that's going to push people towards even more digital distribution as far as video games go? You know, people that maybe in the past would have never bought a digital copy of a game might be sitting at home saying right now, I really want to play Doom.
Yeah,
God
right.
damn it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's part of the issue with the
go buy
GameStop.
Doom.
Right.
With the GameStop thing is a lot of the games they're selling right now you can buy as a digital download.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I hate digital downloads.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of digital
prefer
downloads.
to
I
have
like the
the
hard
product in my
copy.
hand.
Yep. I like having my hard copies.
Yeah, my sound's finally working properly.
Yay!
Oh, not a delay anymore. Oh my God, Rob, the whole night you have been on a. Oh God, the delay off your was pretty bad.
Because the internet is for porn, and apparently everybody in this country is downloading it right now.
It's because
playing WoW.
Pornhub
Because
is giving out premium porn access right now.
Yeah,
Didn't you guys know though?
Don't you
gamers
guys
take
know
up
the
more
memo?
bandwidth?
What do you guys think? I'm surprised you all haven't been at your computers all day doing that. I mean, you guys are
who's to say I wasn't?
toxic incels after all.
King just said he was. King admitted to it.
Well, at least
Who
I
said I
know
wasn't?
one of you is honest to me.
Well, I mean, like Cinder said, I mean,
Vera wants only
who'd have thought
honest
that
men.
those of us who are gamers, we use so much bandwidth, even though statistically speaking, games are inherently low bandwidth use.
Hey, I only watch
Well, go out and
digital anime
download them
strippers. Thanks. I only watch digital anime e-girls, so
Oh, hey, man, digital anime girls.
yeah.
You got me sold there.
Yeah, see?
Ding, 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 winner.
YouTube and Netflix have disabled 4K.
Ooh, YouTube has been dropping every day. They've dropped a quality off the list. Netflix has too. Netflix, you can't do 1080p right now. I don't think. Can you?
It's because it uses too much bandwidth. Who would have thunk?
Right.
Exactly. Who would have thought? But let's blame all the people playing Doom.
Let's just blame
They're
those
the
dirty
ones
ass gamers
Frank
out there who
Frank
just
is
wanna
giving us
take
the
things.
411 in chat.
I'll give you a real simple explanation of my internet right now. I pay for a gigabyte service, which means I have a 500 dedicated for my main laptop, an additional 500 for the rest of the house.
Yep.
I haven't been above 50/50 in 2 weeks.
Yep. I pay for
You know what I'm doing with
what is it,
my,
a gig as well, and I have literally every night the past like week and a half have only been getting 150 up.
Oh, they're
On normal nights I get 600-700. I'm getting like 150 to 100. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's because everyone's
back
out
to
there
the whole-
Netflix and chilling, and that
Yeah.
ruins everything. That kills infrastructure.
Thoughts on the whole game store thing? No amount of stimulus is going to save the industry at this
Nope.
point. Well, it will survive, but 30% are going to fail.
There's
And the
gonna be some
buyer
hurt.
confidence for the next year or so is going to be so slim that nobody is going to take their own money to go and open up a small business.
You know what the good thing that might come out of this is that WotC might end up being forced to go back to a more WotC to game store trade incentives and stuff like that, like they used to do, and it could end up making it to where WotC is kind of desperate for money, and they may have to be able to make deals with the game stores. This could ultimately be a good thing in that area. I'm hoping. Can't say it's going to happen, but it would be nice if it did.
Right.
It would be very nice if it did.
Hey guys, there's a petition to bring back player rewards. Just so you know, if you haven't
There
seen
should
it.
be player rewards.
There
We
should
should have
be.
always had them.
Player rewards is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like the player rewards they should bring back the freaking Guru program and just be able to monitor it better. I did Guru. I have I think after last time I counted, I have about 3 play sets of each of the Guru lands.
Now, what they should do is run it through the LGS,
Yes.
and you submit a form in where that states that you, as a guru, have logged into the Wear program through your LGS, go through and put a bunch of people that you've taught how to play in a player list,
Yep.
and then submit it, and Wizards of the Coast sends it to the LGS to you.
Yep. And it'll help cut down on people taking advantage of the system, because man, the Guru program, I took advantage of that.
Yeah.
I remember the Guru program. Yeah. So I think, go sign the petition if you haven't signed it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the petition was started in response to all of the stuff that Wizards has been putting out about stores moving their tournaments onto Arena, because people have been kind of like shooting back saying, I'm a physical player. I play paper Magic. I don't want to play Arena. I don't want to play digital.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if we're going to force us to play digital, at least give us some physical rewards. Send them to the store, send them to us, or something like that.
I mean, look at F&M. They're doing their digital F&M, and you got to go to you got to Facebook message your store now, because most of them are closed.
Well, yeah, we were
Get your
talking about that
code
earlier.
for free digital product. Which what people are paper players. Why are they going to want that?
Well, Wizards, as we were talking earlier, is setting up the whole program where stores can now charge up to $10 entry fee for a arena tournament. How are they going to do that? And they're telling stores, set up Discord servers, set up Facebook groups, have everyone meet in those. Like, it's just a ridiculous thing. And Cinder said it best when he's like, "What? How many programs do you need to set up a tournament? 25 fucking programs?"
Right.
The alternative is you could set up a main account on maybe you set up your own store account on Arena, then you make an entire friends list of people that would play in your store. You contact Wizards, give them your name as the store owner. Wizards charges the customers $10 and then keeps an administrative fee, and then transfers the rest to the stores.
Right.
They're never gonna want to logistically handle anything like that.
Oh yeah, no.
They're not gonna.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's a good idea, but
it's going to be a Europe 2.0 with $50,000 in missing prize money.
oh, that story.
Can
Yeah,
you
I don't
believe
even.
that story? Because that was a really interesting one.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, was there ever any resolution to that? Did more information come out?
That from what I've seen on there's nothing. They
There's
basically
nothing. I haven't seen anything. I saw it got buried.
They
Yeah.
clamped up tighter than well, I could say some explanaries here, and
Yeah,
they
I
could be-
haven't seen anything on that prize money that went missing either. I think it's just because people's priorities have been different because people are, worried about normal everyday things, not worried about, unfortunately, people not getting their money, which, people still should be concerned about it, but I think everyone's just being a little bit selfish right now, which is what it
the outrage
is.
is going to be overlooked because of the fact that everyone's focusing on COVID.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to say, like, all in all, look, about game stores, about digital, about versus paper versus physical. I think that I don't think paper magic is going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to go out of style, but I do think this is going to push just a few more players towards Arena that wouldn't have been pushed towards Arena before.
Right.
I do think that this is going to cut off some people that only bought physical copies of video games before and would have never considered before this ever buying a digital copy. I think this has now put them in the position where they've now bought a digital copy. So it's
Right.
kind of like they've broken that ice. So now they're going to start buying digital copies.
Yeah.
So we've just lost a person that was sticking to only physical copies. That person has now moved on.
Right.
And like I said, with Arena players, I think more players through this are going to move to Arena. And even if they don't leave Paper Magic, some of the money that they use to play Paper Magic is now going to be diverted towards digital Magic.
Right.
So either way, this route break is going to cause, a little bit is going to move along a little bit further the death of Paper Magic and physical medium for video games.
Yeah.
That's
We're
just how
losing the gathering part of Magic.
Yeah.
Awful idea, but WotC is trying to, by suspending programs and saying we're not sending you product, or we're holding off these paper events, they're just trying to keep people safe, which I understand. They're just trying to keep people safe.
Well,
tell you right now that-
keep people safe, but to quote, who is it? Rahm Emanuel, don't let a good disaster go to waste.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the Dems did. Don't let a good disaster go to waste. Any corporation's going to be thinking the same thing.
I have
this cut back on
so
certain programs or styles.
Bullshit.
What?
Go ahead, Rob.
Oh, I have cut so many ties on Facebook over this. I am tired of socialists in my newsfeed. I'm sick of it. I finally fucking
Dude,
tolerate.
that's why I just walked away from Facebook 4 years ago.
I've walked
So,
away from the Democratic Party.
While we're chatting here, I'm just scrolling my Facebook, and I just saw one of our main LGSs that owns, I believe, 3 stores in and around Edmonton are now closing on March 29th because of the Diamond Comics distributed.
Yeah, that's
So,
Oh, I'd like
Yeah,
to go.
I had to laugh because today on Twitter, I think it was, I just saw Quartering post something. Well, actually, I had on
that was-
something.
yeah.
And I kind of laid into him a little bit about it.
oh yeah,
And I mean,
I don't know how he doesn't know that the secret layer is out there. Like, come on.
Yeah, how do you
Yeah,
not know that?
because I don't think Grim and Asfarano, maybe they do. Pretty much Jeremy Hambley, Quartering, was talking about how he's considering making a Magic comeback because he can't believe that WotC is directly selling cards, saying with the mystery booster, and saying with the mystery booster, what is this? Why is no one talking about this? Well, no one's talking about it because it's old fucking news, and everyone talked about it half a year ago when they announced it. Sorry to be, to be blatant, but it's true. Everyone was outraged and upset about it when it was announced,
Yeah.
it is what it is now. Like, no matter how much outrage there is, or no matter how many people say we don't like this WotC's going to say, screw you, move on, don't buy it then.
Well, I mean, the thing that made me laugh was because let me find it. He put it in here, and I laid into him. Cinder saw me lay into him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I just spent an hour on the phone with Rudy. What the f has happened to the Magic community? I leave for a few months. Okay, whatever. And Wizards is just effing sailing singles directly. I'm like, what's the surprise there? What is the outrage? Where's the pushback? this is making me strongly consider a comeback. And my response was retweet and lay into them. Like, dude, you left the community. No offense, you freaking ditched
Well,
the community.
here's
And
the
it's-
thing, right? He's not wrong. He's not wrong in that there should be outrage. It's just the
There
thing
should
is
be
like
outrage.
he's a year late. That's all. We
Yeah.
were outraged. We did what he's saying. We all yelled at Watsy. We all tweeted at Watsy. We did all of this. So I'm just saying, Jeremy, you're not wrong. But
Right.
this happened a year ago. That's all.
Well,
He's not wrong. It's just it happened a year ago.
Right.
Well, us plebs, though.
Well, the thing is, what I laid into him, like, your channel was the leading force in the community for speaking out. All the other outspoken channels are much smaller and have less reach.
Yep.
You letting your voice be silenced just made the very vocal minority shout us. Like,
Yep.
Right.
period. And I'm like, and then I laid into him a little more. I'm like, with the community always at each other's throat, and only a couple smaller channels who try to help promote starting channels, it's really hard. I miss your plain well researched and very vocal, strong opinions for MTG. But to be honest, you were a leader in the community, and the community didn't deserve technically, but you decided to leave.
All
If you
right.
decide to come back and help promote alternatives and even call our, sure, we'll support you, but dude, don't you
Don't call out that
you
there was
ditched our
outrage.
community. You
Because
walked
it's
out
there.
of our community.
Yeah,
Right.
You
I
let
agree.
yourself be
He's
silenced, and
saying,
you went
saying
off.
that we didn't. Yeah, he's saying that we didn't vocalize our objection to this. We sure the hell did. We
Right.
did. It just
Every
didn't
single
go
one of it.
anywhere.
Every secret layer that comes out, I think I'm yelling in my video every week that I do.
We have channels that are under 100,000. All the ones that are over that, the only one that had a voice that was loud enough to echo what we were saying was you, and you ditched us because you weren't going to make money on it.
Well, luckily, we have someone new in town who's getting there.
Yay!
Yeah.
Me, I've got 5 subscribers.
Sub to Dark Titan Enterprises now, if you
Road
haven't
to
done it already.
20K, everyone.
We
Almost
are on the road to
91.
20K. All right, so I think that we can wrap up Titan's Table this week. Do you guys have any last thoughts or last statements you want to make on, the shutdown of everything due to the virus, and how gaming retail stores could be affected by this? Do you guys have any really last statements you'd like to make on it? Anyone?
I think I said my piece,
Yeah.
there. So if I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah.
Sell cards,
I
buy
said my
silver.
piece.
That's all.
Sell
I
cards, buy silver. Yes,
I-
Cinder.
Yeah.
I blew my rant load. I'm good.
All right. Asfera, would you like to make any last statements, my friend?
Yeah, fuck Wizards of the Coast.
Whew.
Here, here. I
Here,
do.
here. Huzzah! Huzzah!
After the email I got about if I don't give them my lease and all the photos and videos and everything by this Friday, they're closing my WPN. I have my gloves are off, man. I am so pissed off.
They did that to you. I can't believe they did that. That's a bunch of shit.
Yep.
I was
They
one of
did.
the supporters. I was
I'm not
critical.
laughing at you, dude. I'm just laughing at the situation. Like,
That's
good figures.
it's so
Farrah, just
screwed
set
up.
Set
It's
up a
so
table.
predictable.
Set up a couple tables outside, put chairs around it, take a snapshot of it, and give it to
Dude,
him and say,
take it.
here's my shop.
Set up
Here's
your
my
living
shop,
room- set up your living room
guys.
with,
I've even got a rule book, and I hand like them.
and
I
just
take a
make sure
picture of
there's,
just like this piece of paper that has like a couple rules on it.
Hand cleaner sitting right there in the front.
Yeah, I am well sanitized. Give me WPN.
Table. You have one
Dude,
6-foot
You
table.
just put up all the tables in your house. Put them all up in the house and take pictures of every room. See, this
Guys,
is my
seriously.
store now, assholes.
Hear me out on this one. You take your tables now in your game store, and instead of setting 3 people on a 6-footer, you set 2 people at either end of the long end of the
Yeah.
6-footer. You just put a little sign in the middle that says social distancing.
What you do is you say, our new
Oh my
version of Arena. Our new version of Arena requires
know
hard
what?
copy cards, and it's cameras over top of one person
I
playing
am
the deck.
so mad over this. Like, they seriously said I had until Friday. Freaking Friday to get them all this information, or they were closing my
Yeah.
WPN out forever. The
Stephen
truth is,
Donald, man, there's no way I can explain that.
this is the most unrealistic fucking piece of shit response I
It
have
seems
ever
like
heard.
an automatic response.
I don't care. It wasn't automatic. Somebody had to cut and put my name into it. Somebody took a script, put my name into it, and sent me a digital middle finger.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, that's
I'm
what
sorry,
it was.
Sarah.
And then I'm surprised they didn't throw confetti in there to like explode in your face and like, ta-da! Congratulations, we're fucking you.
They added a period at the end of the sentence instead of an exclamation point.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Right.
And then they said, if you want it back, just turn over, bend over, and open up wide.
It's unfortunate. All right.
It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
I
sad.
honestly don't know if I'll sign up for WPN when I reboot the store in 6 months. I think
Yeah.
I'll do the whole Rudy thing where I'm not beholden to this apparent overlord, and then I'll have
The
the
better
leverage
way.
to sue them if they try to cut me out of selling me merchandise.
It's
Because once
not
you
right.
sign that, once you sign that WPN agreement, you become literally their drop the soap bitch.
Right.
I freaking downloaded.
Oh, and one last,
Z.
I would like to give Cinder congratulations on achieving more than 100 deaths in under 2 weeks in Minecraft.
What?
Damn. You know what, you
Damn,
can
Cinder.
Oh, not Cinder. That was King.
Yeah, King. Not
King.
Bite me.
What the hell?
Bite me.
What the
Like
hell?
me? What? Did you hack my
Cinder
account?
got over 500 subs. Let's congratulate Cinder for 500 subs.
Dude, Cinder,
Congratulations.
we're halfway to 1,000. That's great.
Yeah.
Halfway
Send them
there.
a real sub, an actual like ham and cheese or something. Email it to
Dude,
them.
last night I was so close to rage quitting on the server.
Damn.
Why?
Right.
I don't know what the hell I did, but
Did you
I
follow
got,
the minecarts again?
No, they were still raging. They kept on raging on those freaking pigs. They rage once you hit the right one. They will rage for hours.
Yeah, it's
And
ridiculous.
I died, and then my stuff was like, they had fallen down. So I fixed our gold farm so they would fall through the areas that they would fall on,
So we go-
and they were falling on those areas and running around downstairs. So when I crawled downstairs, they would
Anyway,
beat the living
this
shit out of
was
me.
a discussion for later, King.
Oh, this is a great one right now. This is hilarious.
Don't hit
They
the
kept
evil
like,
pigs.
Dude, I died 27 times last night
Yeah.
trying to get that shit back. I should just put myself in the sea and did it. but I
Jeez,
didn't.
I don't even die that
we
many
need
times.
to have an intervention here.
Dude,
like,
I think I have like 120 deaths now.
Taking the 1,000 level challenge and Cinder's taking and King's taking the 1,000 death challenge.
Yeah.
yeah,
What we need is a new Minecraft story mode, but it's just
Dude.
Over and over.
I cannot wait for
Dungeons-
Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons is
beta,
coming.
guys.
I hope that we get news on Minecraft Dungeons soon.
Dude, they're already doing
It's in
closed
beta.
beta play.
Well,
That's
yeah,
even-
but that's not the
Minecraft.
same as
Circus
that
Upwards
Overwatch.
are playing it on Twitch.
If you know who Doc M77 is, he's streaming the closed beta on Twitch. So it's
Well,
gonna be
I don't care about watching people on closed beta. I want it to full release.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of watching closed
No,
betas.
when it-
Dungeons looks like Diablo on block.
Well, that's what it's
Dude,
supposed
better
to be,
than
which is
Diablo. It looks
awesome.
amazing.
Hell yeah. All right, you
It's the
guys.
Diablo everybody wanted, but no one deserved.
Bar
Yeah.
has a
exactly.
All right, so we shall finish off the stream. It is self-shill time. Cinder, self-shill. Give
Well,
us your
Come
best.
sub to me. It's Cinder Shadow Gaming. I am mostly on YouTube. Yeah, I make a weekly video as well, trying to update on news in and around the Magic world. The last one, I know I haven't had a follow-up on it, on the whole, what is it, the prize money with the tournaments that was put out there from Face It. There hasn't been any follow-up with that. I haven't heard anything.
I haven't either.
It's really a shame that it seems that prize money just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
No one knows where it went.
Yeah.
Into thin
It's-
air.
But yeah, go
Falling
sub
off
to
the
my
face
channel.
of
It's
earth.
Cinder Shadow Gaming. I've also been streaming other things like Minecraft, Ori, and the Will of the Wisps. I
Mhm.
had a very epic boss fight there the other night. It
That was
lasted
pretty
over
cool.
an hour trying to kill the damn thing.
Hey, at least you had fun though, right? That's what
it
matters.
was amazing to kill it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
It felt great.
Awesome. Grim,
Mm-hmm.
where can we find you?
All right, so as you all know, if you don't know, I am the editor for the Dark Titan Enterprises and Vera. So, I mean, you can always find me on the Discord as well. I run the Dark Titan Discord. And soon we will be launching a few different podcasts on another channel called the Titans Table Show. The link to that channel is actually under channels on Vera's channel, Dark Titan Enterprises.
Yep.
You can click on that. So you'll be able to find me on a couple shows on there very soon. Although this show is not going anywhere. We're
Nope.
still going to be doing it, but we're going to be adding some stuff over there. And I'm sure Cinder and King and It's Fair will be joining me for many of those shows as well.
Oh,
So
yes.
so you'll be able to find me over there.
Yes. What about you, King's Knight?
You guys can find me. I will be eventually doing stuff here on YouTube with pre-recorded videos, but for right now, you can find me on twitch.tv/playing Discord. Get me to 50 followers on there, guys. That way I can start taking subscribers and stuff. Not money, but just subscribers. And also, it's going to incentivize me to use my creative juices with my webcam.
You get to see King Knight die more.
Yeah, you get to see me die a lot too. We're having a lot of fun on the Setacraft server right now. So
the $400 3-year-old webcam.
Yeah.
I got a really nice webcam. I also have the other night I was for every follower I got I was opening up packs of mystery boosters.
Nice.
So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Right up until my DSLR camera decided to take a poop and die. Because
Yeah.
its battery died.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
charge it.
happens.
But other than that, that's where you can find me playing Discord or twitch.tv/playing Discord. That'll be where I'm at most of the time right now.
Awesome. And what about you, Esfera?
You can find me with these putzes here because my channel has 5 subscribers.
Wait.
And I still haven't
Oh,
learned
ain't
how
no putts.
I still haven't learned how to stream yet, which is coming soon, honestly.
So, unfortunately, Esfera, I don't know if you know, but you can't stream on YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers.
No, that's mobile.
Nope, you
That's
cannot. No, Frank was actually telling me that he tried it the other day and he couldn't. Like he was giving him problems. It kept like kicking him out, which is a YouTube problem because you should be able to from anywhere, like on your desktop. It's not 1,000 subscribers, but I did actually hear that he was having problems.
Subscribers to do mobile.
Right.
Otherwise,
It's 1,000 for mobile, but I
to do mobile.
was hearing that they're like it wasn't allowing him to stream at all. So.
I was approved a few months ago by YouTube for my channel with 5 subscribers when I signed up when they opened the program.
Right.
All you have to do is verify the channel.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be able to find me there. You can find me through my,
loving tentacles.
You can also find me on Facebook.
Oh my God! Seriously, I'm sorry. I just saw this. It's the marriage of Wainwright and Hammerlock on Borderlands 3. Seriously, they had to go do a whole...
Let us Spheres end their king.
Oh, sorry, Esfera. I'm raging over here.
Restart us, Farah. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you can also find me on Facebook. Look for Command Zone Games. You can from Command Zone Games. It should be the one in Norwood, Massachusetts. You can then check on the group to go to our group chat. I will approve you, and we can chat there if you want to chat Magic, Commander, which is our big thing. We did a lot of meetups until I don't know, the world decided it wanted to puke a plague on everyone.
Yep. Unfortunately.
Look into my eyes, nothing but my eyes. Now you've got a plague.
So, yep, they're my internet.
If you guys know the Hermits, you know what I'm quoting.
Are they throttling your internet because you are so delayed?
Yeah, I'm getting wrecked by network delays from Verizon right now.
What a shame.
Ugh.
All right, you guys. I think that is the end of this week's episode of Titan's Table. Thank you to all of my hosts that were here tonight. I do very much so appreciate it.
Where can people support you at?
Well, people can support me here on the channel on Dark Titan Enterprises. In the description of the live stream, I do also have a Patreon set up. I do obviously know that a lot of people are going through hard times right now, so obviously you do not have to monetarily support the channel. Joining the Discord and stopping by live streams and of course watching the videos and giving them a like if you enjoy them is definitely appreciated, and it does help a lot.
Smash those likes, save puppies. Every time you forget to smash like, another puppy dies.
No. Can't be that harsh. No.
I need to
Can't be
save
that
my puppy.
harsh.
I need to save my puppy.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for stopping by for the live stream tonight. I do appreciate it. Make sure to join the Discord. It is linked in the description, and I will link it in chat in just a second. But thank you all so much for stopping by tonight, and have a fantastic night, everybody.
Oh, waka waka.